Hey there, this video is about repeated patterns 2. So it's taking what we learned in the first repeated patterns and putting it into word problems. So here's your guide up here for what to do if it's up or down. You can watch the repeated patterns video before this one if you need any reminders about that. So here's our directions. Show any work, write the rule for the pattern, and answer the questions. Number 1. The house numbers on Hutch Avenue follow a pattern. The first 4 houses on the left side of the street are numbered 8, 14, 20, and 26. Go ahead and underline those numbers. That's our pattern. Our question is, how many more houses are on the left side of the street with numbers less than 50? So let's start out by just writing our pattern. 8, 14, 20, and 26. That's what we know. And we need to figure out, after this, how many more houses are there that have street numbers less than 50. So I'm going to cut it off here. So draw a line there, because that's what we know. And I'm just going to look at these numbers like a pattern. And I ask, are the numbers going up or down? So 8, 14, 20, 26, they're going up. That means I'm either going to add or I'm going to multiply. They're not going up too fast, so I'm guessing I'm going to add here. I can check that by using subtraction. So starting with my 8 and 14, my bigger number is 14, subtract 8, I get 6. If I get 6 again when I take my bigger number 20 minus 14, I do get 6 again. Let's check one more time though, 20 and 26. 26 is my bigger number, minus my smaller number 20. I got 6 3 times. I did subtraction. Subtraction's inverse is addition. So my rule here is going to be plus 6. So I'll write that rule here. But the question isn't asking me for my rule. It's asking me how many more houses are there with numbers less than 50. So I have to continue my pattern all the way up to 50 and see how many more houses have that number. So let's start with 26 and do my rule, which is plus 6. 26 plus 6 equals 32. So 32 is less than 50, but I'm not at 50 yet. So I'm going to keep going and do my rule again. 32 plus 6, that is 38. Still less than 50. I have to keep going on with my pattern until my number hits 50. So I'm going to do 38 plus 6 again. I get 44. Still less than 50. I'm going to keep going, do my pattern again, plus 6, 50. Okay, so now I'm at 50 and the question's asking me how many houses are there with numbers less than 50. The number 50 is not less than 50, it equals 50. So I'm going to count, there's 1, 2, 3 houses that have a number less than 50. So for my answer, I'm going to write, there are 3 more houses with numbers less than 50. All right, good job with that. Let's try number 2. Miss Wismer is beginning an exercise program. The first week, she exercised 20 minutes each day. So I'm going to underline 25. That's my first number in my pattern. The second week, she exercised 30 minutes a day. And the third week, she increased it to 35 minutes a day. Bracket your question. If the pattern continues, how long will she exercise each day in week 5? So let's write out my pattern. She starts with 25. That's the first week. So that's the first one in my pattern. Then she goes to 30. That's the second week. After 30, she goes to 35. That's the third day in my pattern. The question's asking me, how long will she exercise each day in week 5? So this would be week 4. I need to get to week 5. So the first thing I'm going to do is figure out what my rule is. So I'm going to check if my numbers are going up or down. 25 to 30 to 35, that's going up. My choices for numbers going up are either going to be addition or multiplication. I'm going to test out addition first by using subtraction to find the difference. So 25 and 30 are my first two numbers. I'm going to start with my bigger number, 30 minus 25. I get 5. And I can see that I'm going to get that again when I do 35 minus 30. I get 5. So I know my rule is plus 5 because I use subtraction to check, and addition is the inverse. So for rule here, I'm going to put plus 5. Now I need to figure out week 5. So I'm going to add 25 plus 5 I know is 30, plus 5 more I know is 35. This one I can do without a calculator. 35 plus 5 is going to be 40, plus 5 is going to be 45. And you can check that on your calculator if you'd like. But now we need to answer the question, how long will she exercise each day in week 5? So I'm going to write Miss Wismer will exercise for 45 minutes each day in week 5. All right, one more to go. Number 3. You can see that number 3 is multiple choice. So let's see what it's asking us. John said that 52 is part of the pattern below. Sienna said that 66 is part of the pattern below. Who is correct? Okay, so here's my pattern. First, I'm just gonna find out the rule. So I need to ask myself, are the numbers going up or down? 18 to 26 to 34 to 42, I can see that my numbers are going up. That means it's either addition or multiplication. I'm going to check addition first. So 18 to 26, I can check with subtraction. My bigger number is 26, subtract 18, oops, not 19, 18, and I get 8. Let me see if that works for 34 minus 26. Yep, I get 8 again. Let me check one more time. 42 minus 34, I get 8 again. So 8 goes with plus because I use subtraction to check, and addition is the inverse. So here's my rule, is plus 8. I want to know if 52 is going to be part of the pattern, or if 66 is going to be part of the pattern. It only goes to 48, so I'm going to have to keep adding 8 until I get to one of these numbers to see who is correct. So starting with 42, oh, and don't forget I can write in my rule here, I figured out my rule is plus 8. So now let me do 42, which is the last number in the pattern, plus 8. And I get 50. So I'm going to write that right under here. 50 is the next number. That's not 52 or 66. But I kind of know right now. I know 50 plus 8 is going to be 58. That's going to be above 52. So I'm pretty sure John is not right. But I got to make sure I get to 66 to make sure Sienna is right. So 50 plus 8, I just know that's 58. Then I can either use my head or my calculator. 58 plus 8. Ooh, I get the number 66, and that's the number that Sienna said. So Sienna said 68, 66. Sorry, not 68. Sienna said 66. John said 52. So let's look at our options. Neither is correct. That means both John and Sienna are wrong. Can't be that. Both are correct. That's not true because 52 is not part of my pattern. So it can't be B. C, only John is correct. Well, no, John said 52. That was wrong. D, only Sienna is correct. That is true. Sienna was right. All right, nice job with repeated patterns too. See ya.